So in terms of the end bearing pile, if you look at this image I'm hovering about, you see that the load is coming from the superstructure, and then it is being exerted on the pile. So, and you can see clearly that in end bearing pile you have soft soil, and then the load is actually transferred to the hard strata. So if the hard strata is around 30 meters down, 50 meters down, so the load will only be supported at the end part of the pile. So that's why they call it end bearing pile, because the load is transferred from the superstructure down to where we have the high density layer of soil. So that's the idea behind the end bearing pile. But in terms of the friction pile, what happens in the friction pile is the load is transferred by means of friction along the surface of the pile. So what happens is, with different layers going down into the soil, when if the stiffness of that soil increases with increase in depth, so let's say you have 10 strata. So the first strata has a particular stiffness. Then the one below it is more stiffer. Then the one below it is more stiffer. So when you accumulate all those stiffness, they will be they will be enough to support the intended load for the superstructure. So that is the idea in friction pile. So the friction pile does not really transfer the load to the hard strata down. What it does is it support the load based on the resistance between the pile surface and the friction of the soil. So, but practically, what we have practically is the combination of the two, both end bearing system, support system, and then the friction pile support system. So these are the two major classification of pile based on the function or based on the way they support loads.